Doing customer interviews is a huge pain in the ass, but I think it's absolutely worth it. So if you don't recall, I'm launching something new. It's not really about the product itself. I'm just documenting our journey from absolute scratch, so literally 0 users. I had initially sent an email out to users that had signed up for a different product that I built. So I had a little bit of rapport with these people, and I got about 19 meetings, which is shocking to me. And I've done about 5 of those interviews. These are preliminary results based on the people that I've spoken to so far. So the current state of the union is actually there are only 6 users and no paying customers. Now, I know people want to try to get you to sell your product before it's built, or the common wisdom is that you should sell your product before it's built. You should get people to prepay. Don't write a single line of code until you have a paying customer. And that is just extremely hard to do. Now, one caveat, I can code, so it's really just time risk for me building an MVP. And my biggest pitfall is that I consistently build things that nobody cares about, and then I undermarket them, meaning I don't really give them enough time to take off before I kill them or lose interest or move on to something else. So that's sort of my cycle, is that I go off and build, I don't really talk to anybody, and then I don't really do any marketing, and lo and behold, the product doesn't take off most of the time, and then I kill it. So that's kind of my cycle that I'm trying to break with these customer interviews. Called Demo Monster. You can create interactive product demos with it, so it lets you build one of these. This is actually the embeddable thing that you could put on your website or send a link to, and it just quickly walks through in a kind of clickable prototypey type of way. So in the background here we have a video playing, and I have some call outs of here's an example of a demo that you can build. So the actual demo itself, I know this is a little meta, it's a demo of a demo, but this is how we add Loom videos or YouTube videos into Demo Monster. And so this is actually kind of a support request type use case for us. And so this is showing where you can click to create a new demo, and you can group your demos or gather screenshots from one of our either Chrome extensions or our desktop app that we built for Mac, where you can take a screenshot or record a video. On the product, again, that's not really the point. The point is doing these customer interviews. And I wanted to show one of the parts of one of the videos here, and this is what an insight looks like on some of these customer interviews.
I think this lines up with what I was thinking when I was booking the call yesterday. As I think for the client, the outreach that we do for our clients, this is the first place that I find is helpful. I think one of the most difficult things is crypto itself is kind of confusing, and then there's no real like account management or hand holding, or nobody. It's hard to conceptualize like a partnership that we're trying to close for somebody, and then every product looks a little different. So it'd be really nice, like say my DeFi client, whose platform of course looks different than everyone else's. It's a very complex category to begin with, or whether DeFi in itself is not to take and combine this NFT. So I find a lot of times when I'm trying to close a partnership that's like, hey, bring over $1 million of liquidity, people are already hesitant. So now it'd be really nice to send one of these to them, and then it's got the instructions. Here's exactly what it's going to look like for you. Here's the first place you go, second place, and then it's done in 48 hours or whatever. Because those are, I'd say like half of our clients are not volume outreach. It's not just pumping out a message and trying to get a lead. It's we're trying to close a bigger partnership, so it's a much longer close, and us really having to show them, and nobody does that well in month 3. I mean, there's just not a lot of sales teams or the sales reps.
So that particular segment of the video is showing how, in this case, a services company, the real problem that they have is the market is complex. So the thing that they're trying to articulate over video, or I mean, well, let's remove video first. They're trying to do this over Telegram or email or LinkedIn. And the first problem that they're running into is that it's difficult to convey the complexity and how something might work without some kind of visual representation. So what could some potential solutions be? One would be a Loom video. And I always try and ask in all of the interviews so far, why aren't you just using a Loom video? What can this do that potentially a Loom video can't communicate? I don't have a great answer for that yet, but I do like posing that question and getting the people that I'm speaking with, getting their thoughts on why video doesn't cut it. And so again, I had built this envisioning clickable prototypes or clickable demos for software companies. And 4 out of the 5 initial conversations I had were much more around service company use cases and something like this. So trying to convey something complex, how a partnership would work for particular segments of the crypto market. I mean, disregard what you think about the crypto market itself, but the one truth about it is that it's complex. And I think it's much bigger than people realize. So you can't really, it's like talking about SaaS. It's like not super helpful to think and talk about quote unquote SaaS. Same goes for crypto. It's not totally useful to think in broad strokes about just crypto. There's various segments of the market with wildly different needs. and wildly different players. And again, this is one of those pieces where potentially a video might not cut it. It might be more helpful to have some kind of visual representation. Through each of these videos, I'm just pulling out little clips that I think are helpful, and hopefully this is interesting to go through an actual customer interview and see what it looks like, feels like, the kinds of questions I'm asking, which I can get into a bit later. And hopefully this leads to product market fit an order of magnitude quicker than if I didn't do this. Or I realize at the end of these conversations that everybody says that it could be potentially useful, but I'm not seeing the behavior of people actually signing up to use it. And I could also potentially kill the idea at that point as well.